Hello, my name is Roman Webb, and today I'm going to be doing a reflection on the body ritual among the Nasirma article that we just read and how it relates to American culture. My first reactions to the article were a bit strange. Some of the rituals, patterns, and practices that they had were a bit different than ours for sure. And just the way they went about a daily life and how they seen life was a bit different. Um, I would say though they had a lot of relations to how American culture is. It just explained in a much more graphic and different way. I would say, like they had a things such as how they worked their dental, their mouth, how they treated their mouth realm. I would say, and also treating women and how they would have to dip their heads and bake their heads for 30 minutes or things such as that way. They were a bit graphic, but they do have some relation to American culture and the way they go about life. One communication pattern, practice, and ritual that really stood out to me was the way they treated the oral realm and how they treated their mouth. It kind of connects a little bit to the U.S. culture and how we value our teeth. Back in the Nasirma days, they, drilled or clogged out, some of their teeth and replaced it with gold or magical things to make themselves look better, not necessarily to do medical treatment but to make themselves feel better. And I think nowadays we have people of that have money or people that are millionaires. They have things like gold teeth or diamond teeth and put things in their mouth and make themselves look better and appear better for their peers and people around them. And I saw that kind of has a relationship with the US culture and how we value looking good for other people, looking good for how we stand in society. And I think that has a relationship with the Nasirma and how they wanted to put magical substances in their mouth and make themselves appear better to their peers and to their people as well. Another pattern that they practice in the Nasirma was also having, certain people that would treat the sick. They would have gowns and, certain dress up, and they had a certain job in order to treat sick people. So I think this kind of related to, the U.S. culture and how we view things and how, we have certain jobs for certain areas, just like they had, there's certain men that do certain jobs and they had certain people that do that, help the sick as well. And I think we could treat that on our point of view as our nurse and how, they dress up in their scrubs or their gowns, and their specific job is to treat and to, tend to those sick people. And I think those have a, direct correlation to their jobs that they have treating the sick as well and having their specific area where if they did have somebody sick in their family, they would have somewhere to go and somewhere or someone to treat them. And the ritual that I wanted to speak on that has changed upon the years is having the ritual, their daily ritual, and sacrifice, every day with the holy mouthmen, I believe they're called, and the Nasirma. And nowadays well, back then they had their ritual every day, and I believe that's changed over the years. Now we do still have mass, or we still do have church certain days out of the week, but it's not every day, and most are the most significant one is we think is on Sundays and the weekends, that churches where we need to go, and that's our spot. Which in them that's changed because they have their ritual every day. They have torture and stuff like that. And so our torture, I guess we could say every day, was not every day, but our torture is doing the communion, or sacrificing something to the church, or fasting, stuff like that. But it's not so much of a torture or giving up something every day. It's more of a maybe weekly, monthly, yearly basis that we give something up for our ritual. And I think that's something that that's changed over the years, and it's not so hardened and so focused on every day, but something we could do weekly, monthly, or on a yearly basis. From my reaction to the beginning of the video and me telling you how unnecessary or how weird things were when I first read it, I think this relates to the final question of me saying how beneficial or detrimental it is to the U.S. culture. I think for that change to happen, I think it was more beneficial for us to have something, maybe once a week, or to give up something once a month in our culture, rather than, sacrificing and doing these odd, practices or rituals every day. And I think that would be detrimental to our health, or to be detrimental to how we live every day. I don't think people could function and go to work every day with baking their heads, or, putting magical things in their mouth that might be unhealthy or, unsanitary. And I think that leveling up of, these changes that have happened over the years, I think they're very beneficial. And I think they're, for us to live as however long people live nowadays rather than it was before. I think it was way beneficial it is now than it is now than it was before. So maybe their practices worked for them and how they wanted to, run their lives in that certain day. But for now, I think how we set our practices and rituals, I think that's pretty beneficial to what we have going on.